All right. So I did want to do a little bit of moon math for you guys, just because I like checking this every once in a while with the lower liquidity environment. And actually, let's go ahead and check that really quickly. And this will be a shout out to RHMax. I use this website all the time, gorealdefi.com. I always use this to get to the official websites because I guess Max can make good stuff his based on his IRL profession. So let's go to the exchange. Let's go to farm, see what the farms are looking like. 10% APR for DAI, that's been on point. Any changes? Nope. The weightings still look the same the last time I checked. They shifted some of the weightings towards the stablecoin pools, which makes sense, but we got like 6.5, 10, 14, 16, 17, $17 million of backing liquidity, which means it's about $8 million of value backing the ecosystem just in the farms. I'm sure the V2 pools might have a little bit more potentially. But yeah, we're like super illiquid as a ecosystem as a whole. So, you know, we talked about this previously. Let's see, DAI, there's 1.15 million of DAI here, 500K. Let's see what this is in. Hey, Joshua Wu. I have trouble saying your name. Let me give you everybody your Twitter because I like the stuff you post, man. Hold on. There we go. Go give Josh Wu a follow, my friends. He's a funny guy. He's a funny guy. Has some good content. Always livens the day up when I get to see his funny stuff. Here, I'll show you guys. Hold on. Look at that. What is this? He was like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. Yeah. This is a fun channel X channel to follow. So go give him a follow. All right. Dongs. I don't know what you're talking about, Max. Hey, Asian Trade, good to see you, man. I missed you in Vegas. I hope you're doing well. I know you're busy, you know, grinding away. You got your business and everything, but I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you too. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. All right. There it is. Okay. There's the 10,000 dong, which if I do a conversion, let's see, down to USD, I think it's a Vietnamese dong. So if we do 10,000, that's 39 cents. Whew. Guys, I made some money on this stream. Look at me go. $1.39. Can't wait to buy the dip with that. Oh my god. You guys crack me up. Yeah, 30. Holy crap. Okay, so yeah, super illiquid environment. Yeah, most of that liquidity and DAI is with Pulse. So yeah, I think about $8-9 million backing the entire ecosystem in quote unquote value backing tokens. So obviously part of the reason why we got a lot of this dip is because of the low liquidity environment. So when it was happening, everybody was excited about it. I was excited about it too. But one thing I always qualified my excitement with is like, hey, like this works to the downside too. So sell pressure now is much heavier on the price chart than it was previously, because if you guys watch my liquidity providing series, you know, like the X times Y equals K formula, how it dictates price. The price is a function of the ratio of the assets and the liquidity pools. And so sells now have a bigger impact on the liquidity as a whole. But this also works to the upside. So I like using HEX because it has the lowest liquidity of all of the assets here. So Hex on Pulse has 4 million. Obviously Pulse has all of this, whatever, 20 million we talked about. But PulseX has 10 million, 11 million with Pulse. And it has a bunch with Ink, and Ink has some with PulseX and with Pulse. So of the core assets, Hex has the lowest liquidity of all of them, which means it's the one that can pump the most, assuming buy pressure, and that's important. Like we're assuming that there's net buy pressure. And so the Pampy.app calculator here basically says if we have this amount of buy pressure and no sell pressure, or another way I like the better way I like to say it is net buy pressure. So if we get, you know, I'm going to put 10 million in here. So if we get $10 million of net buy pressure, so we get $30 million of buys with $20 million of sells, and this is pretty much value extracting sells, not just like from Pulse to Ink, Pulse to Hex. Well, actually, no, Pulse to Hex would work, but Pulse to if like not Hex to any altcoins, but like Hex into Pulse, basically. If people started to sell in that direction. So if we got $10 million of net buy pressure, we'd be at 23 cents. Which really isn't that much. Probably a little blasphemous to bring this up. With Richard is now one of us, being minus almost 50% on his Ethereum buys, which it's crazy to me that Ethereum is this low right now. I want to scoop some up myself under $2,000. It feels like a steal. Like, it feels like, why? I think I was watching a Somi video and he was like, ETH was cheap at 4,000 and now it's like $1,700 when he posted the video. So like, if ETH was cheap at 4,000, like now it's just like, it's like bargain bin prices, fire sale, that kind of stuff. So I mean, if there's a time to add more to your ETH bag, like now's the time to do it. And it's always good to have some Ethereum in your portfolio. It balances things out. So, the wallet has 331 million. So if we just make the assumption that this wallet starts buying HEX, for example, if we put in 30 million and then that was met with $20 million of sell pressure, then the HEX price would be 23 cents. And then all the cores get a 4x right on top of it. So like, the money is there in a wallet that theoretically has the interests of the chain in mind, where it has a vested reason on why I would want the prices to go up. But of course, we don't know if it's going to do that. And actually, I probably wouldn't assume that it does. I just like keeping that in the back of my mind, because a lot of the times a question that is asked is like, oh, where's the buy pressure going to come from? Where's the money going to come from? And so with like that, it's just with this wallet, it's like, okay, well, I can see on chain that there's a wallet that has bought these assets in the past and theoretically has a vested interest in things doing well. And so like, technically there is money there to be able to reach these prices, but we never know if it's going to actually happen. And I wouldn't expect it to happen. Or let me say this a different way. If your investment thesis is solely based on the fact of the SAC wallet buying up PulseChain core assets, if that's your core investment thesis, then I would tamper your allocations based on the probability that you think that that's going to happen. So if that's like what the trade that you're going to make, or if that's the thing that you are betting on when purchasing this assets, first, obviously it's a very easy signal to when to sell, because the wallet will be buying. But also, don't like count on the fact, because there's no guarantee, and the probability might actually be really low. We may never see that wallet be active ever again. So part of me, I always have some conflict. I'm always partially conflicted when it comes to bringing it up, because it's like, we really shouldn't expect that for the reason that price pumps. Obviously, the more ideal scenario would be an organic $10 million coming in from whoever, like new participants, basically. But, we don't know who they are, when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen. We have no like actual data on it. So it's at least nice to know. It's like, okay, like this is something that could happen, and I can see money on chain that I can assign some kind of non-zero probability that it would happen. If you want to get real crazy, ladies and gentlemen, say we were 50, right? We're at like $4. So like, what would it take for us to get to all-time highs? Let's do all-time highs. Let's do 25. Yeah, 25 million net buy pressure gets us to $1. Let's do 15. Yeah, 15 million basically gets us to all-time highs for 16. Yeah, $16 million in net buy pressure, and we're at all-time highs for X. So really, what this tells me, when I'm looking at this data that I'm presenting to you now, this tells me that things can flip fast like that. Like really, really fast. So I think if / when, and I'm positioned for when PulseChain starts to move for real, like have a real big impulse up, it's going to be fast and violent. It's not going to be like a slow, steady grind up. And so that's important to know when it comes to capital allocation, because you're not going to get a warning signal. It's not going to be this nice technical pattern that, oh, you know, we had a falling wedge that broke out, retested the highs, retested the resistance line, and then now we're going to start grinding up. You know, it's going to be basically violent green candles straight up. If real capital starts to get injected into the ecosystem, and specifically is buying HEX. And what's nice about this is that everything gets a 7x ride on top of it, which would be like, if we got a 7x from here, I think everyone would be running around without their pants on, probably not their underwear too.